everybody? Welcome to the Pop Block here on Boss Network. I'm your host, the enlightened, excited Andy Reid. Joining me is the one, the only Bossman himself, Mr. Corey Derrick. Hello, good sir.
Hello. It's a good day here, Ed. It's a good day. The Browns won a squeaker. Man, a heart-pounding 59-yard kick by Cade York, Cleveland's new hero for the moment. Beat the Carolina Panthers.
Scored by Celine Dion for the touchdown.
Yeah, there's this really funny video where they did the last couple seconds of the game and he kicked the field goal and they played the theme song from Titanic and it was hilarious and epic at the same time. So, with Jim Donovan, longtime broadcaster for the Browns, play caller for the Browns, best in the business, I would say. Unbiased opinion, of course. No, Jim Donovan's awesome, and then you put that stupid Titanic song behind it. It's hilarious. Also ate a lot of good food today, so feeling good, Ed. How are you?
Well, I'm having computer problems, and I am planning to get a new computer. For you guys watching this, my setup is that I am doing Skype through my Series X, through Microsoft Edge. I'm using my headset for the microphone. If there's a way to get my Series X to get, recognize my my microphone that I actually use for my podcast, hopefully it works and stuff. I plugged it in. I tried to get the match and it didn't. So, but for right now, this is going to be my setup for a while. And depending on what computer I get, I might be having to set up for a bit, everybody, till I get my new computer, and I'll talk about that. But other than that, I am on vacation. Guys, by the time you are seeing this, my vacation has started. We're recording this on a Sunday, and just enjoying my first day off. I did have to go to work though for a little bit because of Saturday night. I had 18 posters that I had to do, and I had to change them all and fix them, and so I didn't get to do my ad tags that needed to go up for today. So I had to go in the morning, do those tags, leave to go to church to go sing, and then go back to work so I could finish this liquid stuff that I had to put out. And then came home and come to find out my computer stopped working in the correct way. It was working this morning when I was using it, and then I cut it off so it could cool down. And then I came back and problems just arrived. So hopefully my new computer that I get will be something helpful to help stream, to help mix, and things of that nature. So I'm going to be looking more into that. Luckily, Corey, a lot of the stuff that you gave me, like the files and everything, is on my external hard drive. So nothing like really on my computer that I can't get off and stuff. Because my computer is kind of like feel a little bit, I don't know with what, but I got like a 2 terabyte external hard drive. So I just moved everything there a while back before this problem happened. So I should be good to go on that front. But yeah, just enjoying. Hopefully we have a Nintendo Direct, and it was raining like crazy today, dude. Just like literally from about 9 o'clock this morning until about 5, it was just downpouring.
Yeah, I knew it was raining up there today because for those newer to the show, I'm a big football fan, and I know that the Bears were playing the 49ers today, and that weather looked awful. It looked terrible. So
was it everybody's first game?
There was a Thursday game, and then there's a Monday night game tomorrow. I don't know who's playing tomorrow night though. I didn't really look.
Okay. But it's kind of like the first week for a lot of people. I
Yeah.
know there was preseason.
Yeah, no, this is the first real week.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then there's about 13 more for first playoffs.
Nope, 16 more. There's 17 games in the regular season.
Oh, okay.
It used to be 16. Now there's 17. There's talk of them knocking down a preseason game and then moving to 18 next season. But I don't know. We'll see.
And what about the playoffs and Super Bowl? Is that still in January or February?
Yeah.
Why did I thought the Super Bowl used to be in January?
It was, but the NFL just extends the season all the time. So, they like to make their money. So, no, the Super Bowl's always the first weekend of February.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay. Very interesting. Well, Corey, should we get into some housekeeping? Do we have any today?
I guess so. Do we have any? I mean, I don't have the.
Well, I know.
Sorry, I've been too
well, I know
talking.
Everybody, you can check out our latest expansion pass that has dropped. Like kind of me and Corey had a laid back episode, and we was talking about what they could do with Nintendo's IPs, like different companies and everything. So do check that one out. It was a really good conversation, Corey. That we have. I really am looking forward to the next conversation though. So if you guys have it, sign up for Patreon for Boss Rush, we got some perks there that you guys might want to be interested to check out and everything. Definitely, we are getting ready for a lot of, I think Tokyo Game Show is coming up this week or next week. I think it's this week. So I'm going to be, if it happens this week, I am going to be trying to watch it to see what new news is coming from Nintendo in Japan. That is a possibility. Some might drop here. And of course, Nintendo's not going to be there, but Konami is going to be the one that everybody's going to be watching to see what they announce and everything. Because I'm excited to see what they bring to the table for Tokyo Game Show.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I guess housekeeping wise, just so everybody's aware, since Ed's on vacation, we're gonna try to record a bunch of episodes of Expansion Pass and Standard Def, and maybe squeak in a spoiler alert, the Death's Door one. So
yes,
what we're gonna try to squeeze in a bunch of episodes since we have the time this week. So look out for that stuff. So yeah, if you join our Patreon later in the week, this week, or later in the month, you may not hear your name on a couple episodes, but that's because we're recording early. Just because we want to get ahead on a couple things, so just some of that. But yeah, check out Expansion Pass, check out Pow Block. Very excited for more things to come, Edward. EV.
Yes, and hopefully this week we get the Nintendo Direct. We can do our Direct recap. And
I'm just saying, if there's a Direct this week, I'm skipping Boss Rush Podcast. That's all I have to say. If it's on Wednesday, I am skipping.
I'm going to be upset because I have to work Wednesday night.
Well, do it without you, I guess. No, I'm just
but kidding. If it comes in the morning, you already know our text chain is going to be like bunkers, dude. Like literally.
I know.
And so, because man, if they show Twilight Princess, if they show Wind Waker, any of those get announced and they drop in this year, it's on. It's literally on. And
well, there's that rumor that it'll be delayed till after the Queen's funeral. So, there's that also. But
because that's Nintendo of Europe also.
Yeah.
Well,
So we'll see. But anyways, when there is a direct, you will know because we will be doing it.
Yes.
Except for the
Hopefully,
Splatoon one because it's Splatoon. I don't really know
right.
what to say. We would have had to pull in the big guns for that. Grayson would have done a solo episode for us. We'd pay him in happiness and love and not money because we're poor.
Oh, I love Grayson so much. I got to hang out with him last Wednesday. It was so much needed, dude. Like literally, because I literally had worked 5 days straight, but I had to go in for extra stuff to do. And man, I was so happy to be off that day and going to see him and just hang out and talk with them, man. It was kind of therapeutic for me. And we had a really good talk, and which I'm going to talk about when we get to Snack-Tendo.
Nice.
So,
well, Ed, speaking of snacks, we're going to move on to Patreon producers.
yes.
That's probably shouldn't call our Patreon producers snacks. Maybe some of them are. I don't know. I don't know. You know?
It's a positive snack.
Anyways, I want to thank everybody who supports us on Patreon. If you want to support us directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork, where you can support Nintendo Power Block, Expansion Pass, and all your favorite shows on the network. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly. We offer 2 tiers currently. The $1 tier, which grants you early access to 5 shows currently. We added Talk the Walk to that list. Also, if you want to subscribe at the $5 tier, you get early access plus a Patreon producer credit on this here program. Now, Edward, we have gained a Patreon producer this month.
Yes.
So without further ado, very excited to give you our Patreon producers for this episode of Nintendo Power Block. Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Rebecca Jewell, and Prince Unsmooth Toes. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. We just give you a little extra for supporting us directly. We are looking into more tiers. I just need to have some time to do that. Have not had a lot of time to do that, but we will get there. So, yeah, if you do listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating or review. It really helps us out. And remember, we are going to give away a copy of Splatoon 3 very soon. We need to figure out how to give that away this time.
Yes.
And I'm leaving that up to you. Something simple, not super complicated. Something simple.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
So, Corey.
Nope.
You know what time it is, dude.
Yeah, I know. I feel it in my stomach, literally.
It's the time for Snack-Tendo! Yes! Who wants to start? Should I?
No,
or should
I'll
you?
go first because mine's pretty small.
Okay.
So Friday we made pizza. Like we bought these pizza building kits, and the kids built, or my daughter and my wife made pizza. I supervised. That's what I'm calling it. And we made pizza on Friday, and it was actually really good. Except, so I like to put red pepper flakes on my pizza. And
yeah.
Like, I wasn't gonna have any because I was like, my stomach kind of hurts. I don't really need that flavoring to go through me right now. My daughter, God bless her, she was like, I want to try. And we don't want to discourage her from trying things because she has a hard time eating food as it is anyway, trying new things.
Yes.
So we told her she could have a little bit, and she opened the wrong end of the container and dumped it all out onto one piece of her pizza. So like instead of like throwing it away or wasting it or whatever, I sprinkled it on my pizza, and it was way too much. But man, it's kind of hilarious now to think about, but it's just this mountain. Imagine like just like a 3-inch stack of red pepper flakes on a piece of pizza.
Like about this much?
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah. So, and then today I had a chicken finger salad from Ray's Place down the street from me, local sports bar. It was, dude, it was like really big and super filling to the point where like none of us finished anything. And it was actually relatively cheap too. So, it was really good. Chicken finger salad with like this like seasoned wonton strips in there, and corn and black beans and cheese and these tomatoes, and it was really good, super enjoyable. I'm glad I got the regular ranch instead of the spicy ranch though.
It would have killed your stomach
Yeah,
for a bit.
I don't know, man. I can't really eat like I used to, and like I keep fighting myself on that, but it's starting to really catch up with me recently, and I just have to keep telling myself that like you gotta slow down, you gotta like start not doing that. So, yeah, that was my first attempt at it, but it was still really good, and got some pretzels and cheese, also a crowd pleaser. So that's it. That's all I got. What do you got, Ed? What do you got? What did you snack on? What's on your shirt, by the way? What is your shirt?
Oh, so this shirt, everybody, this is from Wholesome Games. Kim Chicas, when she does the direct.
Friend of show.
They were
Kim Chica.
Yes. They were selling these shirts. This one and the blue one, and I got both of them. They were like $15 each, and the money gets donated to creators to help them make games, get the ideas, get people to come and do it. So it's just a whole bunch of characters from it, from different games and everything. And this was during the Summer Game Fest or E3 presentation. And man, I love when Kim Chica and the crew at Wholesome Games come on and do their directs, because they're so relaxing. Bomb music. Like out of all the directs or presentations that I see, Wholesome Games always have a great soundtrack, and I always be like, I need to buy this. Like I really want them to make just a CD base of all the different game music, or even just music that they pull from DJs or something. Like if they could get that license or whatever, I would literally pay $20 for a CD.
I'm surprised they haven't gone through like limited run or something to do something with that, or super rare or whatever, or even Humble, I guess too.
Ooh, Humble Bundle. Ooh, Nintendo needs to get back with them, because they did a Humble Bundle with Nintendo before, and I would love to have that. Like buy 15, like even if it was a $20 pack, and you get 4 games. Like Box Boy, good job. Cadence of Hyrule, the Kirby fighting game, or the one Kirby game that just came out or whatever. If they want, even if they want to do like $25 or something to do like donations or support and stuff, Nintendo and Humble Bundle would be so good. Because or if they want to be like, hey, if you guys want to get these big games, for once the limited time only, even though they could be old games, for like $30, get some of their like, or 2 games from Nintendo first party. And if you want to choose, you could choose out of these 6 games. I don't know, people would have them or nothing or something. That would be so cool for them to do. because I wish kind of Sony and Microsoft would do it too. But Nintendo, when they did it, dude, I bought that package
Hmm.
quickly, and I was so shocked that they did it.
Yeah,
So
cool. I didn't know what your shirt was, so I was just curious.
sorry, I went off a tangent,
It's
side
fine.
tangent. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's
Uh,
good. I think people should be more aware of what they're doing over there. I mean,
yes.
we don't
So
talk about it enough, I don't think. So,
true. Well, starting off with Friday, um, I ended up getting the Detroit pizza from Pizza Hut. It was a limited time. Um, really good. It was just 8 slices. I gobbled it up. Was done with it. Um, because I had already had
you
Domino's
had the
earlier.
worst type of pizza from the worst place, Ed.
Detroit pizza. Uh-oh. I could hear Asa and Beyond be like, "What the world?" Uh, I've never tried Detroit pizza, and they're the only ones that make it around here. Like no one else makes it. I
To
know
be
I need
fair,
to go to extra. Okay.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry. To be fair, if there was Cleveland style pizza, it would probably just be like cigarette butts and like I don't know, garbage just scraped off the counter onto a pizza and run through the oven. So,
Oh wow.
Cleveland's not really known for anything. I think there's one sandwich that we're known for. I forget. I don't even remember what it's called, and it has fries on it. Hold on. What food is
I don't even
Cleveland
know.
known
Oh no,
for?
we're for Chicago style hot dogs. That's what Illinois is.
Uh, hmm.
And Wisconsin is
12 most
cheese.
iconic foods from Cleveland. Oh gosh, I'm so concerned. Um, oh, Slyman's corned beef sandwich. That's what we're known for.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. Also Melt is a pretty local chain. I think it's bigger now, but it's like this uh it's this kind of gourmet grilled cheese place where like it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
much just like every single type of sandwich you can think of, but it's on a grilled cheese. So,
Shoot. And let me tell you, some of the like local colleges, or community colleges, like they cafeteria stuff, sometimes they be having some bomb food there. We have one like 30 minutes from us, and my niece was getting enrolled during orientation, so we had to wait for her because I mean my sister went and took her. And so we went to the cafeteria and we're just like, you know what, let's get some food here while we eat. They had some bomb pizza and a grilled cheese. We was almost knocked out. Gosh, it's about to sleep. It was so good. We literally wanted to sneak up there. We like, we just want to come here and buy food. We just want to
mhm.
eat lunch. And so we didn't know if we could just like throw in a book bag and make them think that we students and buy food
Wow.
and go sit down somewhere and then
Something tells
leave.
me that wouldn't end well.
Uh, but uh, yeah, that's what I had Friday. Um, Saturday I had Chipotle a
Hmm.
little bit. No, actually, no, I didn't have Chipotle. I'm sorry. That was Thursday. Um, Saturday, I had the chilies that I ordered. And there was a secret sauce chilies burger, which really just tasted like a cheeseburger with some spices on it. Like it was nothing big or major. And it was well done. I'm like, it was good. I think I ate the fries quickly, then I ate the burger. And I should have ordered some baby back ribs from them. Like their ribs at Chili's is like still some of the best. I did have a strawberry banana smoothie from McDonald's before I went to work. I just wanted to just have a taste of that. And then today it just had tacos.
I
You know,
wish I had the stomach that you had at this point. It just feels like you eat everything that you want now. I'm just like, I smelled a fry and now I'm dying. Well, you know.
But don't forget, Corey. I'm on my feet working constantly
I mean,
and everything.
I used to be.
Yeah, but you used to work well. We won't speak of those last two jobs because I'm happy with the job that you have now.
Yeah, me too. But you know.
So, I probably end up going to the store. So next time, everybody, when you see Power Block or if you listen to Expression Pass, I'll probably talk about because I didn't get to go to the store today. I should have, but I was just like, it's raining bad, and I'd rather just, you know, be home, somewhere, be safe, instead of driving through the rain. But that's pretty much it for us next Nintendo that I had, Corey. Um, Funny thing though, uh, our Burger King just opened back up after 9 months. No, after 5 months. I'm sorry, after 5 months of being closed. Cause I think I told you this. Um, I went to go get Burger King for me and my store manager, my previous store manager who was leaving. I was going to get buy her lunch and everything. Got to the McDonald's. I mean, not McDonald's. Got to the Burger King that was by my house, and when I got there, they were closed. Like the lights were fall. Like they was doing construction. So, and the thing about it is that the day before I had stopped there to get some lunch before I went to work, and they were open. So they didn't even tell nobody that they were closing or anything. But now they're back up. I guess they renovated the place. I haven't been inside yet, but I want to go see what did they do to it. But yeah, our Burger King is back open now because I had to drive 15 minutes to go get some Burger King if I wanted some.
Wow.
So
nice.
But Corey, it's time for playing with power.
Yeah.
What have you been playing with power?
Well, I'll skip the Destiny stuff because I know people are tired of hearing about that. I played. So I've been I've been playing Link's Awakening again, trying to because I want to finish it and 100% it and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was following this guide step by step. I'm missing a seashell, Ed. I am missing a seashell. I'm very upset. Like, very upset that I'm missing the seashell. Okay. And now I have to go back. I'm supposed to have 40. I need to go back through and go before I progress any further and figure out which seashell I'm missing. So, pretty upset about this.
But you were using a guide. How did you miss it?
I don't know. It has to be one from the last dungeon. I'm going to work backwards from where I'm at now because it has to be one from either the last dungeon or right before the last dungeon because I've been pretty thorough up to this point. And I just don't know how I missed one. But the reason why I think it was in the last dungeon is because the last dungeon was kind of confusing. Like there's a lot of like moving blocks and a lot of rooms that you have to switch between stuff and also like the guide I'm using is using the Switch screenshots, but it's using the Game Boy Advance steps. So, like, it says, go left 2 screens or whatever, and it's just like a scroll over, which I wish Zelda Dungeon would fix that, but they don't really seem like they're in a hurry to fix that. So, and I've been swapping between that and a GameFAQs guide, and, like, the GameFAQs guide just has a separate section for the seashell locations. So, like,
yeah.
It's one of those guides where, like, here's the main walkthrough, here's the trading, like the trading stuff is in a separate thing, and then like the heart pieces and the seashells are in a separate thing, right? And it's like, oh, come on.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to do that. So I'm turning my fan on. I hope you can't hear it. But can you hear that? Can you hear it?
No.
Okay, great. So I've been playing that. a lot. I still really love the game. I'm just really mad that I missed the seashell. I'm so mad. Like, you have no idea how mad I am. So I've been doing that, and then I played a little bit of Splatoon 3. Actually, so I will have some show and tell next week, Ed, on the next episode of Pow Block.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm gonna unbox it or not. But I mean, I'm going to unbox it. I don't know if I'm gonna unbox it on the show or in a separate video or just open it right when I get it and not care. Because I seem to do that where I'm like, oh, this would be great content. You know. Whoops. So it's more Splatoon. I don't really know how to describe it any more than that. It's more Splatoon. I only did like the intro mission, and then I played some Turf Wars, and it's more Splatoon. There's really no other explanation I can give. It's fun. I wasn't gonna get it, and then I was like, you know what? I'll get it. I'll get it. Fine. And it's more Splatoon. I don't know if I'm gonna play a lot of it, but I'll definitely play through the campaign and some multiplayer throughout like the next couple weeks, probably, and update.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, just I agree with you. And just let everybody know, next week's episode, Grayson is going to be joining us to talk more about Splatoon. So we're going to be playing to like kind of get more of a feel for it, and then be able to discuss it for next Playing with Power. It won't be a doc mode or anything, but it'll be nice to spend some time talking about that game with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been playing that, and then I played some of the Cowabunga collection. Just because it's Ninja Turtles, and I like it. But I need to finish the other one. What's the other one? The Shredder's Revenge.
Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna do that after Link's Away. I have like this whole list of Switch games. I have like 10 games that I like want to finish before the end of the year. And now, it's just like, oh my gosh, I need to finish these games. I need to play more games that came out this year, because I don't know if I could even come up with a list of 5 games that came out this year that I've played.
Oh wow.
I mean, I probably could if I tried hard, but yeah.
I think definitely for me, out of all the new games, big games that kind of released, Elder Ring right now is the only one I think of I didn't play. Ratchet and Clank I didn't play because I don't have a PS5. So a lot of the PlayStation exclusive stuff, first party watch I should say, I didn't play. But like, The Last of Us Part 1 I didn't play but I have the original ones in the remaster. I am going to be getting God of War on PS4, and I played Horizon. Horizon, I really need to dedicate time and just like straight finish out with that one.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
I mean, not on Switch. I mean, like I said, I played some Destiny, and I played some a little bit of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Because they announced all these Assassin's Creed games this weekend, and I knew Ubisoft had a presentation this weekend. So, and then the final chapter of Valhalla is coming out soon. I'm like, oh, I should probably finish Odyssey so I can play Valhalla, so I can play, the 4 games that they announced this weekend.
I still have Valhalla still wrapped up in the plastic. I have it, but I think I need.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I just need to go. I think I need to go back to Origins and finish that. Start Odyssey, and like finish Odyssey, and then go to Valhalla. Just finish it. I think I'm just gonna have to skip the side quests and hope for the best.
Well, that's gonna be challenging because the leveling system in Odyssey like forces you to do side quests unless you like buy the thing, the booster.
Oh.
Which, whatever, it's $10, and if you're only paying like $10, the game is on sale right now. The gold edition with all the DLC is $15 right now. So I mean,
That's not That's not a bad deal.
Dude, it's like I'm 79 hours into that game on my Xbox playthrough, and I haven't even started the DLC yet.
Wow.
So, like, I haven't done the Legacy of the Hidden Blade. I haven't done the Atlantis stuff. Like, I have so much to do in that game. Those games are huge. I cannot believe I've stuck with it this long.
Shoot, that's kind of how I was with the Division 2. I just felt like it was huge, but it was more of the same old.
Yeah. I mean, look, Assassin's Creed, like, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla are, like, I mean, they play differently, but, like, they're essentially the same game, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, you can buy all three of those games right now for, like, $40.
That's not bad.
That's like 500 hours a game that you could play.
You hear that, Dying Light 2?
Speaking of big games, Cyberpunk announced their DLC this week too. What's it called? Phantom Liberty?
Yeah. Some people decided to go back or start it up on Series X or PlayStation 5.
I think when that DLC comes out, I might check it out. I think I might go back and play it. I actually enjoyed Cyberpunk when I played it, but you know, there were issues, but it was fun.
I think, yeah, I would probably have to clear half of my Series X just to play that game.
It's not a big game though, like file size wise. I mean, compared to some of the other things, you know.
Well, I feel like I wonder if it's around 55 gigs in total. The Series X version.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember how big it was. I don't remember it being that big though when I downloaded it. And it was the Xbox One version because the Series X version wasn't out yet. So
exactly. So okay. Yeah. Well, for me, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I'm getting closer. It's going good. Right now I'm doing a lot of side quests. There's so many people that I still am collecting to like get their weapons and everything. So I'm still opening stuff up. I think I'm close to the end of 6, and I should be getting to episode 7, or chapter 7, like the last chapter. But man, this game is heavy. I did not expect a character to do something that I would say is kind of personish, and I would leave it at that. But it was, man, it was good to see that they did it, and I'm like, oh, they went here with this. I'm like, okay. But yeah, right now I just grinding, getting stronger, finding more camp stuff, finding more no pawns at camps and stuff, and getting their like red jewel or their color jewel or ruby. Yeah, just I may try to finish that game by the end of the week, but it depends on the Life is Strange that I got to start up, that I'll be starting. But by the time you guys see this, I've already started it and everything. So I got to replay the chapter 1 from the beginning because I played it on PS3, but never finished past that. So I'm just going to stick with it and finish that one. The Splatoon 3, I played the multiplayer today, the Turf War, just a regular one, and we won ours because we covered so much ground. We was doing a bridge one that's been constructed now, that's kind of finished. We was doing that one. Man, that game's still fun. It's still so smooth with it, like it and. It looks beautiful with those colors and that art pops so well, dude. I'm like, yeah, this is why Splatoon 3 or the Splatoon series needs to continue this neon look to it because it's very stylish and everything. I do want to do Salmon Run though,
Yeah.
or Salmon Run, whatever. I do want to do that and see how I could go.
Did you just say
Um,
salmon run?
yeah.
It's salmon run, dude.
So you know what? I used to say salmon because they never taught us. And
I know. I'm sorry. That was mean,
no,
but it was just
no,
funny the way you said it was.
no. But the thing about it is that um I had to go to speech class, because there were some words I couldn't say correctly and everything. And as I grew older and going through those classes, and even with music and stuff, I had to enunciate things a little bit more clearly and stuff. And so when I wasn't taught certain words, I had to go to the best of my ability of how to say stuff. So when it came to salmon, I had to say salmon because of that L. They never taught me that L to be silent and everything. So um, yeah. So uh, but I'm excited to play that and everything. The last game I'm going to end with is called Aspire in a Tale. This is kind of a platform puzzle game. Um, it's not Metroidvania or anything like that. It's kind of like it reminds me of Greed, but because of the art style is different and the music is kind of different. Um, it's not such a bad game, but it does have some controller problems with it and stuff because there's times you gotta enter this jewel and everything to use to be able to use the power, and sometimes it doesn't highlight correctly. Um, and the game, if you play it for the first time, the game is probably only about 2 hours. But if you want to get everything, it's a little bit more than that. I think if you figure out what everything you need to do and go back, I think it's like about 45 to an hour with it. And you can actually die in this game. But it just resets you at the last checkpoint and you go and you play through it. And there is replay value to it because there is stuff that you can collect that expand the story or explain the story a little bit. I am going to try to write a review for this. Hopefully, everybody. But yeah, it's not such a bad game. But while I was playing, I'm just like, yeah, agree, it's a bit better than this in a sense. And it's not a bad game, but I was just expecting more to it. So, but that's everything that I've been doing playing with Power. Hopefully, I could get some good gaming. And guess what, Corey? Jesse sent me a picture of him having a PlayStation 5.
Oh wow!
I'm like, are you serious?
Nice.
I was just like, how did he just like? He said that Saturday night he went to GameStop and they just got like 6 bundles of the PlayStation 5 bundles. So he ended up buying it. Yeah. I was like, you lucky dog, you. So
yeah,
it's cool that he got it.
I'll get one eventually. I just,
I could wait.
The thing is like I can't. They won't let you. They won't let you buy a second one on your PlayStation account if you have already purchased one. And those are the only places. That's the only place where it's available right now. So like, even if I wanted one right now, PlayStation literally won't let me buy one. So, but I will. I don't know. I'll get one eventually. Maybe like next year or something. I'll get one.
I think I would just wait to Best Buy to get them.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Because I like that day that I went to go pick up my Series X, they rolled in some PlayStation 5. So I'm like, oh, dang it. And then they were just like, don't even worry about it. I'm like, the pre-orders have already been, not the pre-orders, people have already bought them. We just stocking them to give it to them. I was like, oh crap. I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll get one, but I think I'll wait for a Slim and everything.
I know that's the thing too. Is like as soon as I get one, they're gonna announce this tiny one. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but with that, everybody, it's time for Femi News. Corey, take it away.
All right. Well, Ed, we have a lot to cover here. So since since we recorded last week, there was a new Pokemon trailer, a couple NIS America things coming, the Disney Marvel showcase, and a Ubisoft showcase. So, um, God, thank God the direct didn't happen yet, or this would be like a 5-hour show. Um,
Shoot.
so I think we're gonna start with the Disney and Marvel showcase and work our way into Ubisoft stuff. Even though we know that it's not really a lot for Nintendo, I think a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
have other consoles, and I think that the Assassin's Creed stuff is really interesting. And I know I'm like the only person that's excited for 5 new Assassin's Creed games, but that's whatever. So from the Disney Marvel showcase, the Nintendo Switch stuff that we should talk about, a 2D co-op platformer, Disney Illusion Island, announced exclusively for Switch. This comes from Nintendo Life. This game looks pretty interesting. It's a hand-drawn kind of new Super Mario Brothers-esque co-op platformer. You can play it by yourself or with friends. It's definitely looks like it's aimed more towards children and families
Mm-hmm.
than Mario. I think if you want 100% it, it would be a little bit more challenging than this. But it looks fun. It looks cool. They redesigned Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy again. I don't know why they didn't just use the Mickey, like the designs from the new cartoons that are out, the Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse cartoons that are out
Uh-huh.
right now, which would have made sense because that's like the art style they're using in all the theme parks and all the promotional stuff anyway. But
Mm-hmm.
this looks pretty cool. At Disney and Marvel D23 Expo earlier this week, Switch fans were treated to a special exclusive announcement introducing Disney Illusion Island, a brand new 2D 4-player co-op adventure starring Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy. This new game, you'll go on an adventure with Mickey and his friends as you run, swim, swing, and jump your way through 3 magical books to save the world. This will involve unlocking special abilities, solving puzzles, platforming feats, and take down some epic bosses. This is exclusive to Switch, so this game is actually being developed by Delilah. Xbox fans might know them from the Battletoads beat 'em up from a couple years ago.
Uh,
So yeah, it looks cool though. It looks super fun. I will probably be getting this because I'm a big Disney fan, and that Castle of Illusion remake on Xbox 360 and PS3, I think.
mm-hmm.
Maybe it was Xbox One and PS4. I don't know. It was pretty fun. So yeah, did you watch this, Ed? Did you see this?
I did see it. I know it was really cute. I think this is going to be a day one purchase for me. It definitely is up my alley because I do love platformers, and I haven't bought like a Disney game in a long time,
Yeah.
in a sense. And so this one is like I said, this one is up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
And I love platformers like these. So I think it's going to be a day one purchase for me. I want to see the box art because I wonder. I don't know if I'm going to be on the fence of do I buy this just digitally or do I buy this physically for this one.
Yeah. No price or date was given. It just says there's a joke in there that says TBD, TBD, TBD. And then, Goofy says TBD, and then Minnie asks Goofy if those are real words or if he was just saying TBD. So they make a joke about that in the trailer, but it's super cute. It's super fun. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a groundbreaking 2D platformer or anything, but it looks fun enough. So
Yeah.
the game that they showed right after this, though, which I know it's been out for a while, but they showed new characters for it, and I wish it was a console RPG, and it is not. It is a phone RPG. Was that Mirrorverse game? That Disney Mirrorverse game looks so cool, and it's on phones.
Oh.
And it's like you buy cards to get 5-star versions of these characters and stuff. It like
Mhm.
I wish it was just like a traditional RPG. Come on, Disney, what are you doing? This would fill a lot of people's hearts full, no pun intended, while we're waiting on Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah.
Like, it's super cool. Like, there's this one commercial I see all the time that really makes me want to play this game. It's like a scene from Beauty and the Beast where Belle's reading the book in the library, and she sees a mirror, or she leans up against a mirror, and like on the other side of the mirror she appears in like this battle armor where she's like using magic and fighting off these dark forces or whatever, and it's super cool looking. And I'm just like, man, I would play the crap out of this game if it was just like I don't know. Anyway, back to the real stories here, and not me griping about Disney games for the last time. A new Tron game was announced from Bithell Games. You might know Mike Bithell. The last game that he did was that John Wick Hex game, I think, was his last game. Plus, he's pretty known in the indie space for a lot of things. Tron Identity. This is from Game Informer. Disney and Bithell Games have revealed that Tron Identity, a new PC game coming to Steam sometime next year. Consoles are TBD, but the art style and the way the game plays, this feels like a no-brainer that it would be coming to Switch at some point. This reveal kicked off the Disney and Marvel showcase, a first for the company. Unfortunately, those looking for more information on the game, the reveal trailer falls more in line with being a teaser than anything else. It does feature the Identity Disc, which is typically used for combat in the Tron world, but that's about it. However, in an interview after the showcase, Bithell said the game takes place, quote, in a world where Flynn created an arc, where Flynn created a second grid for them to go to, promising that he'd come back. So for those of you who are Tron fans, that's kind of within the lore of the movies and the ill-fated Disney show that only had like one season, I think. As far as we know from 2010's Tron Legacy, though, he didn't. Bithell continued. Tron fans will also know that time moves much faster in that world. So we enter hundreds, thousands of years after those events. What's the society and the culture that evolved on the grid? It's an amazing sci-fi storytelling opportunity, which we've been able to do thanks to the amazing collaboration with Disney, who have just allowed us to create this story, tell this story in this new world, and expand on this amazing and rich heritage that Tron has. So that's cool. I like Tron. I really liked Tron Legacy. So yeah, I don't know. Ed, does this interest you? I mean, I don't know if you're a Tron fan or not, but
I like the second movie. I never got to see the first one, but I did enjoy the second movie. As for these games, I don't think they're for me.
Yeah.
With the Tron stuff, that is, not everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Disney's pushing Tron in a weird way right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're about to open the Tron light cycle run roller coaster at Disney World, and there's this weird Tron, like there's a lot of Tron stuff going on right now in a weird way. And it's like, I heard there's a Tron Disney Plus series coming. I don't know. It's just weird. And to have like this interesting kind of weird indie game just seems... Tron is in a weird spot right now, and I don't understand it. So, Anyways, next story, Ed. Disney is remastering the Sega Genesis Gargoyles platformer. This is from Nintendo Life. No date or systems announced yet. Perhaps one of the biggest surprises that Disney and Marvel Games Showcase was the news that they are remastering the Gargoyles. If you're not familiar with this game, it is a 2D platformer developed by Disney Software and released on the Sega Genesis in 1995. It's based on the 90s animated series at the time, and players take control of Goliath, who sets out to put a stop to the Eye of Odin and the antagonist Demona. Did you watch Gargoyles, Ed? Have you ever watched Gargoyles?
I love Gargoyles.
Yeah,
I
dude.
used to watch that every Saturday when it used to come on. It used to, I think they had some reruns that was coming on
It's on
the
Disney
weekdays,
Plus
but
right now.
oh, nice. I know this is one series that I need to watch the last season because I think it ended up getting canceled.
It only had 3 seasons. The first 2 seasons are really good, and they tried to change it the 3rd season, and it just didn't work. Like, this was, to put it in perspective, Gargoyles was kind of like Disney's answer to Batman, the animated series. I would say would be the closest kind of, at the time, it's contemporary. The first 2 seasons are super dark. They was like an adult cartoon, in a sense.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really dark. It was really cool. And the fact that this is the thing too, is like there's been a Gargoyles revival online recently too, and it's like, man, are all these people who just grew up with these things like starting to just want to do things with these IP?
See, I know I don't remember the Sega Genesis game. I actually thought when they did this announcement, I actually thought it was the cartoon.
Oh, see, I thought it was the
getting
Super
like
Nintendo
HD.
game.
Yeah, I didn't even no, they never made a Gargoyles for Super Nintendo.
I mean, I don't know. I never had a Super Nintendo, so I like when I said they were
But
remastering Gargoyles, the 1995 game Gargoyles, I just assumed it was a Super Nintendo game.
When they said the Sega Genesis, I was just because I remember the box that they show. I'm like, oh, okay. I just forgot that game came out for Genesis and everything, because I don't think Virgin did it.
No, it was Disney internally had, like, they started developing their own games for a while. They pulled some of the people from like the Aladdin and Lion King and Jungle Book games to do this.
Okay, so I'm assuming that was the last one for the Sega Genesis, the last Disney game.
It must have been.
Yeah, because Goof Troop.
Oh man.
I think it was Goof Troop. It was or it was the Mickey Mouse Magical Costume one. That was the last for Super
Nintendo. Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I think that was the last one because the Lion King and stuff that already came out. I think it was the Capcom. I think it was Capcom. I'll have to look up.
I don't remember.
But
I don't remember. I just like, this is just a weird. There's a lot of weird things going on with 90s Disney in general. I mean, I know Tron's from the 80s, but like that was pretty popular through the 90s, I think, just because of the technology behind it. But yeah, this Gargoyles game looks super cool. The remaster is being handled by Empty Clip Studios.
Yeah.
It seems like they, I think they're the team that also handled the remasters of the other Disney stuff. So,
I'm definitely going to buy it this one.
Yeah.
Because I've never got to play it.
Oh, yeah.
And I love Gargoyles.
Yeah. So,
I wonder if they're going to re-release the TV show.
It's on Disney Plus. Gargoyles is on Disney Plus right now.
Oh, I don't have Disney Plus. I would love to have it on Blu-ray. Like,
I don't
you know
know. It
me,
seems like
sometimes.
Disney's really pushing Disney Plus right now. After I don't know if you watched D23 or not. They announced one Blu-ray for a Criterion collection, and it was Wally. So,
Oh wow!
yeah. So there's your Blu-ray announcement, Ed. Really nice steelbook, though.
Oh, nice. What about Midnight Sun?
We'll
Was
get
that
there.
one? There was
We'll get there. We're getting to Midnight Suns.
okay.
We'll talk about it later. We got to get through the Disney stuff first because there's one more big thing that I think is actually going to be huge for Disney. Disney's free-to-play racer, Disney Speed Force or Speedstorm is free-to-play, coming soon, and they added Monsters Inc. characters in a track. That's pretty much the news from this trailer. They showed it off. I think this game's going to be huge, dude. I don't know, man. I think they're going to do a battle pass type system similar to Fortnite. And then you can buy stuff outside of it also, but a new trailer revealed the cast of Monsters Inc. will be making their way onto the racetrack. This includes Mike, Sully, Randall, and Cecilia. A new Monsters Inc. themed course was also revealed. In addition to this announcement, the same trailer was also revealed the game would be, quote, coming soon to Nintendo Switch. Signups are available now on the game's website. The game has also been confirmed for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. I think this game looks cool. I have been pretty disappointed with the Mario Kart stuff overall recently, and I would love to have a decent new kart racer to play. I know Team Sonic Racing and Crash Team Racing are on the Switch, but they just don't feel like they just don't feel right. I don't know if it's because I played so much Mario Kart or not, but anyways. Yeah, Speedstorm looks cool. I'll be playing it for sure. By the way,
I just hope the go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that I hope the controls are nice and tight for a game like this.
Yeah.
Like it looks fun. And I know people laughed at it when it was first announced and the Nintendo Direct, but I think people got some interest for it, and I think people are willing to give this game a try. Plus, it's free to play, so why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of that Disney Dream Valley game, it seems like everybody is playing the crap out of it, and like I kind of want to try it out. I know Grayson's been playing it. Isn't he writing the guide over at Game Rant? I
believe so.
Yeah, that game looks really cool, and I know it's on Game Pass right now, but I really want to play it.
I'm good.
I think I'm going to try it out. Speaking of other games, Ed, Midnight Suns. We're getting into the Marvel section. Before we talk about Midnight Suns, though, there's a really cool... They showed off Amy Hennig's next game. For those who don't know, she is she started out as the lead writer on Legacy of Kain in the Soul Reaver series, and then she was the game director for the original Uncharted trilogy. Her next game was announced at this. It is a World War II game starring Captain America and the Howling Commandos and and Black Panther, but it's not T'Challa, it's T'Challa's grandfather.
Yes.
And the what would become the what are his guards called? Shoot. I forget what they're called. I mean I know it, I just forget. Anyways, it looks super cool. We're not going to cover that here. I just wanted to shout it out because it looked really cool. Way cooler than Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Oh, good. Dude, that.
I'm sorry, man. This game does not look very good. I wanted it to be good. It is not. I didn't even see any gameplay trailer. It was those animated shorts. So, like, I still haven't seen gameplay, and it's supposed to be out in December. Oh, boy. Marvel's Midnight Suns has a new gameplay trailer and a release date following its delay out of October. Firaxis Superhero RPG is set to arrive December 2nd on Xbox Series and PlayStation 5, Switch at a later date. The gameplay trailer offers a montage of tactical card-based combat, so the card-based stuff's still in there, so I'm out, as well as choice-driven relationship building. Cool. That's what I want in a superhero game, is turn-based card action and relationship building. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was mean. I'm sure it's going to be fine for people who like card-based RPGs.
This game looks like a 7.
They showed off a bunch of animated shorts that serve as a prequel for the game's plot. The first episode of these animated shorts will be available to the public on October 31st on Marvel's YouTube channel, and they will lead up to the release date. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah. I'm not... I have lost all interest in this game. And it kind of sucks because it has a lot of characters that I'm actually into, like Wolverine and Blade, and I think there's just a lot of characters in here that I would play as, but man, I'm not into the card-based stuff. So. Yeah. Anything else to say about Midnight Suns?
Pass. That's gonna be more of a. It looks like a 7, but gameplay look like a 5. Like what happened? The problem with this game, it looks good when you're storing the shorts. It looks terrible and bland when it's actual gameplay, because they do actually have a gameplay trailer, and it's just like
I guess I missed the trailer. I
can understand. It came out 2 days ago. They probably did like the shorts just to get announced, and then after the presentation, they dropped the gameplay trailer. But this looks boring and bland. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like they're hyping this thing up to really fix a lot and gain interest. I think this game is just not going to be. Yeah. It's not doing anything.
Oh, I found the gameplay trailer. Here it is. I'm looking at it. There's. I don't. Where's the card-based stuff? They're not even showing that. Oh, there it is. I don't. Man, I don't know. I'm not into it. Man, I want to be too, man. Blade and Captain America and Wolverine and Ghost Rider. Like, the cast is super cool, Anyways, I'm going to stop looking at that. All right, Ed, we're going to get into the Ubisoft stuff since I don't really have anything else to say about the Marvel Disney stuff. Mario plus Rabbids was shown off a little bit more, and they announced that Wiggler. They showed off a Wiggler boss battle, and they also announced that they were going to have DLC, including Rayman is going to be a character as post-launch DLC. That's cool. I wonder if they're trying to gain interest for Rayman again, because Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends, if you haven't played those, right?
Yes.
Those games are awesome. Rayman Legends is on Switch. You should definitely play that. I don't know if there's an easy way to play Origins. I wish they would re-release that. I wish they would release like a definitive edition of Origins.
So I think so. Xbox 360 has it for backwards compatibility.
Right, but for Nintendo fans, you're like,
oh,
it's on Wii. I think the console it came out on was the Wii. So
yeah,
I guess you could play it on 3DS also. It came out on 3DS, so if I don't know when the 3DS store shuts down, but if you haven't, if you really want to play Rayman Origins, 3DS version is available. But that's cool. Rayman starring in his own DLC. That's cool.
And plus Rayman, the rabbits came from the Rayman series, so it makes sense to have him there.
Yeah,
and everything.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna give him a Mario mustache.
Oh gosh, I hope not. You mean like the the Rayman Legends DLC? No.
Yeah.
Pass. No, but it would be cool. Like I think Rayman would actually fit really well in the main game. Like
Yes.
is it a DLC campaign or is it just a
Right now, it's just a character.
Yeah, well, like that stinks cuz like I really want to play with him on my team. I don't want to
Which
like
you
wait, you know?
yeah.
I don't know.
Which I think you probably will, but uh
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really excited for Rayman or for for Rayman for Mario Rabbids though. That first game's so good
yes.
still. Like it's so good.
And a lot of people are buying it like they're like, yeah, I got the game for $15. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well the
So,
gold edition with the Donkey Kong DLC is $15 right now.
Ubisoft just got some great deals on these older games.
Yeah, Ubisoft's in like this weird spot because like all their games are on sale right now. They just sold like half the company to Tencent, which is kind of scary. They
Excuse me.
announced 4 Assassin's Creed games, which I'm going to talk about in a couple seconds. When they said they weren't going to release one annually now, anymore. So yeah, I don't know. Ubisoft's in a weird place. They canceled a bunch of stuff. They're revamping some stuff. It just seems weird. I've always liked Ubisoft as like a company. Out of like
Mm-hmm.
out of like the big publishers, they always seem like the least terrible. you know,
Yeah.
I mean, compared to like what Activision does and what EA used to do, and Ubisoft always felt like out of those three, they were like the good the good guys. I mean, like you would always root for Ubisoft to win, and I don't know, like that Prince of Persia stuff. Like, we still don't know what's happening with the remake. Skull and Bones looks. I don't know. I want Ubisoft to be Ubisoft again and not try all these like weird. I think when Ubisoft started getting weird was when The Division got popular. To me, at least.
I would say Far Cry 3 for me.
Yeah,
I feel like that game.
but Far Cry is like the most normal thing they do now, though.
Well, yeah, but I just feel like with Far Cry 3, the success of it changed a lot of their games, the direction of the games. Because if you look at
Oh, you mean like
outside of
every game became a Far Cry game essentially, with like the towers and unlocking parts of the map and upgrades.
yeah, it came more of a like an open world like game. Because
Uh-huh.
like Watch Dogs, a lot of the Tom Clancy stuff, like they had like Hawks and Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Like they would always do these different things with the Tom Clancy brand. And now it's just like because Far Cry 3 was so successful, they made Tom Clancy games open world. The Division, well, true, the Division is still Tom Clancy. Like how, aside from like the Rainbow Six stuff, yeah, Assassin's Creed went open world. It just got bigger. Immortals Phoenix Rising was just another open world game, and it just feel like a lot of their designs. It's just so much open world to it, and it's all because of the success of Far Cry 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, speaking of Ubisoft, Ed, like I said, they announced a bunch of Assassin's Creed stuff, which I'm really excited for. I'm actually shocked the mobile game is not coming to Switch because it's like a full-on action RPG. Ubisoft pulled back the curtains on Assassin's Creed Mirage, the next game in the franchise that represents a return to the series' roots, but it also revealed a lot more too. This is from Game Informer, by the way. If you've been begging for years for an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan, you're in luck because Ubisoft announced Assassin's Creed Codename Red today during its Ubisoft Forward showcase. While the company only released a small teaser for the game, it did say that it takes place in feudal Japan, and that will give players the ultimate, quote, shinobi fantasy. it's also calling Codename Red the next flagship title in the Assassin's Creed franchise, meaning that it's probably the next entry after Mirage. It is being developed by Ubisoft Quebec, which is the studio behind Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yes, that means it's going to feel good to play. I love Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's in all honesty, Assassin's Creed Odyssey probably a top 10 game all time for me. No joke. That game is amazing. I love Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Mirage looks interesting too. Ubisoft also touched on its in-development Assassin's Creed Infinity game, which is less a game and more of a platform or portal for Assassin's Creed experiences. Codename Red will be a part of Infinity, as will Assassin's Creed Codename Hex, another game Ubisoft teased today in development at Ubisoft Montreal, the birthplace of the series. This teaser was short and sweet, but it features a distinct horror tone. The Hidden One symbol that appears during it, made of tree branches, and feels very witch hunt-like in nature, aligning with the rumors that Hex is about the witch trials in the 17th century reign of the Holy Roman Empire. Yeah, so
question. They gave up after 3, right? Of Assassin's Creed with the storyline.
There's actually a pretty solid storyline going on right now with Layla that started in Origins.
But for the third game, the
third game was Desmond. Like they wrapped Desmond's storyline, and then 4 was kind of like, we don't know what to do with the story, so we're just gonna pirates, everybody. Pirates. And then I'm not really sure about Syndicate and Unity, like what those games did.
Because they don't get the technology thing that they were using on Desmond anymore, right? It's not just this is the time period.
No,
and this is
there
where it
in
takes
the
place.
Animus. Layla is the modern day hero through this story.
She's the one that when you play Origins, she was searching in that tomb and everything.
Yeah,
correct?
Layla is actually a pretty big part of the story right now. And her partner, I think, I don't know, in Origins, they kind of said they were kind of working partners, but Odyssey, where I'm at in Odyssey right now, kind of suggests that they're partners, like romantically. I'm not 100% sure, but it seems that that's where it's going. So, yeah, I mean, so Hex is clearly like, I thought they were developing a Blair Witch game at first. Like that's well, it has like the symbol in the tree branches, but then like it's like it looks like a Blair Witch game, but then the tree branch turns around and it's the Assassin's Creed logo. So
oh wow.
But, you know, I mean, this article says that it's aligning with the rumors that Hex is about the witch trials during the 17th century reign of the Holy Roman Empire. So, you know, 1600s maybe. Yeah, it's interesting. And then the company also revealed a new mobile game called Assassin's Creed Codename Jade. Unlike previous mobile titles in the franchise, Codename Jade will be an open-world RPG set in ancient China. This game looked really cool, and I was like, yes, I'm all in, give me that. And then it's like, well, it's going to be on phones. I'm like, God, come on. It will also be the first game in the franchise that allows you to create and customize your very own assassin. Ubisoft did not give release dates for Codename Red, Hex, or Jade, but it did say Jade would be coming to mobile devices soon. I hope Jade is like a paid game, like a $15 or $20 game on a mobile device. Or maybe, honestly, this game seems like Ubisoft would be working with Apple to put it on Apple Arcade at some point.
Probably.
Which I would pay for Apple Arcade to play an Assassin's Creed mobile game, because if I can use my backbone for that, oh my gosh, you'd lose me forever. I know that you're probably not that excited for a lot of this Assassin's Creed stuff, but I love Assassin's Creed. It's like,
but I would play. I definitely would play Mirage and the Shinobi one. I would play. So I'm excited for those two. Like anything outside of those two,
yeah. No,
Nah.
it's. I mean, yeah, the Shinobi one seems cool. Man, a horror tone one. Like, I think that you could get really interesting with that. You would almost have to get like supernatural with it, which is not unfamiliar in Assassin's Creed, the supernatural, but
Mm-hmm.
especially in Odyssey, where literally fighting mystical beasts sometimes. But yeah, I think adding magic could add a really interesting element to this, or like, you know, you could do magic in a way where it's explained away by science almost. But I think it looks cool. I think Codename Red looks awesome. Anyways, I know none of this is coming to Switch, but I had to talk about it, and I don't know where I'm going to get to talk about it. So this is where we talked about it.
True.
Oh, man, good thing I brought a bunch of water up here. I'm super thirsty. My throat's dry. It's all that salt from those chicken fingers and fries. Anyways, all right, Ed, we're gonna move away from the Ubisoft and Disney stuff. We actually have some Overwatch 2 news, Ed. It'll be quick because I don't know how many people are really going to play Overwatch 2 on Switch. I am, but all the new heroes coming to Overwatch 2 will not be immediately playable at launch, and that's because you'll need to unlock them on the free track of the game's Battle Pass. Overwatch commercial leader and vice president of Blizzard, John Spector, revealed this on Twitter last night following leaks and rumors that stated the new heroes would need to be unlocked in the Battle Pass, which is a paid premium pass that rewards players for leveling up through it, akin to passes seen in Fortnite and other games. That's partially true in that, yes, new heroes will need to be unlocked through the Battle Pass, but Spector clarified on Twitter that those heroes will be on the free track of the Battle Pass. Addressing some incomplete info posted early about our Overwatch 2 Battle Pass, we'll be sharing all details ahead of launch, but want to confirm that new Overwatch 2 heroes will be available on the free track of the Battle Pass. As you can see, you won't need to pay any money to unlock these new heroes in Overwatch 2. However, it could still take some time to unlock these heroes depending on where they are on the free track. Based on experience in games like Fortnite and Destiny, the characters will probably be in the same place, because like the way that Fortnite and Destiny's season passes work is they have literally two tracks on the pass, and like everybody who is on the paid battle pass or the paid season pass, you get the free stuff as well.
Yeah.
You just get two things when you hit that level instead of one. So my guess is that, and that at the end, I bet at the end of the paid battle pass in Overwatch, I bet you unlock skins for said character in the paid version, whereas you just unlock the character in the free version. That's my guess. But we'll see. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for Overwatch 2. I'm kind of excited to play Overwatch again.
I just got to give it a try on Xbox One. See what the talk is all about. I probably will Switch just to get a feel for it, because this is free to play.
Yeah, it's By the way, for people who don't know, you will see like they are advertising the $40 version of Overwatch in the eShop. It is free to play. So you can scroll down and go to things offered in this bundle, and you will see the free version. Overwatch 2 is free to play, guys. Do not buy the $40 version. You can buy all that stuff for $40 once you download the free version. This is my PSA for Overwatch 2, and that is on all platforms. Okay, because I turn on the Xbox store, and they're also advertising the $40 version of Overwatch 2. It is free to play. So just so
and
everybody
this is
knows.
the last game from Activision on Switch, right?
No, Diablo 4 is coming.
Oh, Diablo 4. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Diablo 4 is also coming to Switch. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that all these games are coming to Game Pass once that deal closes, which is what Phil Spencer and Jim Riot are arguing about over there, as like Doug Bowser's leaning back with his popcorn, that popcorn meme, or so that's that's that. So Overwatch 2, everybody. I'm kind of excited for Overwatch 2. I don't know if I'll play a lot of it. I might play it when I have some downtime in Destiny, because usually Halloween and Christmas are the times where I just take off, because I do not like the events for those seasons, but it's fine. All right, Ed. Let's talk some NIS America stuff.
All right.
The beloved Grim Grimoire is coming to the West next spring via a remaster. This also comes from Game Informer. We got a lot of Game Informer and Nintendo Life stuff here tonight, guys. Before Vanillaware made its name with titles like 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, and Dragon's Crown, it found early success with a little game called Grim Grimoire. I actually owned this on PS2 at one point. The side-scrolling strategy title garnered a cult following when it hit the PS2 in 2007, but it got another shot in the spotlight in a Japanese launch of Grim Grimoire once more in July. Now we know players in the US and Europe will be experience Lilith's spell-binding adventure once again, or maybe for the first time. Grim Grimoire once more is coming to the West in spring 2023 for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and Switch. The game stars Lilith Bland, a witch in training who attends the famed Tower of Silver Star Magic School, where things have gone awry. So yeah, it's a beautiful kind of hand-drawn game. If you guys don't know Vanillaware, look up. Aegis Rim obviously is their most popular game right now. It seemed to have taken off.
Yeah.
Dragon's Crown also. What was the other game that came out right before this? I know Muramasa, the Demon's Blade for Wii was one.
Demon Blade.
What was the other one? Started with an L. Like a German name. I forget.
Man,
my brain it's not working today.
Because I think it was
Odin Sphere.
Odin Sphere. That's what I was about to say.
The remaster was called Left Razor. It's like German spelling. That's why I knew it started with an L. Odin Sphere. Okay. Gosh, how could I forget Odin Sphere? But yeah, those are the types of games Vanillaware makes. Grim Grimoire is like a 2D, what would you call it? RTS-ish type of game.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a really interesting game. It might not be for everybody, but it's definitely a really beautiful game. So that was announced for Switch. Ed, are you going to check this out? This seems
Think of Valkyrie Pro. Probably if it goes on sale.
Okay.
I mean, I love Vanillaware games, but I think I love when they have the action beat 'em up stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's all I can say for that.
I think I haven't played 13 Sentinels yet, but I'm pretty sure Dragon Crown out of their games is my favorite. Muramasa was also pretty cool on Wii. That game was really cool.
I love Muramasa.
Yeah. Our last story is all about Pokemon. They showed off a new trailer. Apparently you have a motorcycle now that is also a Pokemon. I don't know. Do you have anything to say about this new trailer, Ed? You're more of a Pokemon person than I am.
Everybody's making fun of the crab.
Oh, the giant crab in the trailer.
When it dropped. Yeah, Loft, I think that is. And with his eyes bulging out like everybody was doing it. Someone said it's so funny. When they go to the bar and they see two people about to get into it, and, and it just showed the crowd looking because they started their fighting and everything. I was
Wow.
cracking up. I was just like, "This is so true."
Wow.
Yeah, but like the fan art and the memes and everything like started right after that trailer came. But yeah, this is gonna be cool. I don't got much to say for it. Just waiting for the game to come.
Yeah. Man, I really want to be into this Pokemon game, but man, I don't know. It's intimidating. Pokemon's intimidating, everybody. For those who haven't played it a lot lately. But anyways, Ed, that's all the news. Like I said, we had a lot this week. Better than scraping the bottom of the barrels the last couple weeks, but you know, had to happen at some point. I'm excited for the Disney stuff. I'm excited for the Ubisoft stuff. Nintendo has a lot going on right now also, so yeah, man, I'm excited. I mean, also like D23 happened this weekend and a bunch of new stuff got announced for the theme parks and movies and stuff also. So I'm quite thrilled for that as well. I wish we could talk about that for a little bit, but we've been going along as it is, and we got some questions, and so I want to get to those for sure.
Yes. Well, we're gonna save Doc Mode, everybody, for expansion pass. Happy questions, Corey.
Yeah. So, all right. We kind of already talked about one of these questions on expansion pass, but LaRon texted me about this question, and I know he's not listening, LaRon, but we're gonna answer it anyway. Our friend LaRon, you know, from the Boss Rush podcast and Crossroads, our other podcasts, he says, "Hey, I have a question for the panel at Nintendo Pal Block if they want to hear it out." I said, "Okay." And he says, "How would you feel if Breath of the Wild 2 was not released on Switch and actually became a next-gen title for Nintendo's new platform?" Well, I'm going to start. I'm going to go ahead and say that the next-gen platform for Nintendo will be another Switch. I'm just going to call it right now. Mark it down. September 11th, 2022, Corey says the next Nintendo console will be a beefier version of the Switch. I think, man, I don't know if they would do. I don't think they would do that. Honestly, judging by the way they've done Twilight Princess and Breath of the Wild, they're not going to leave the user base behind. I think, although for Breath of the Wild, it really didn't matter because it sold 25 million copies on the Switch and 500,000 on the Wii U or something ridiculously low.
Yeah,
I still have my copy sealed because I know that Twilight Princess day is coming where it's going to be worth $200, $300, and I'm just going to be like, peace, ship it out. But yeah, I don't know how I would feel. I'm just judging my feelings based on the last couple dual console releases for Zelda. I think Nintendo. Here's the thing with Breath of the Wild for the Wii U. I think people were just ready to move on and be excited for a Nintendo console again.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch, everybody loves the Switch, and are expecting Breath of the Wild 2 on this platform. And if Nintendo would cut off this platform, I think you would have a lot of angry fans because this console is so popular and people love this console, I think, honestly, the game you would do that with would be Metroid Prime 4, to be honest. Metroid does not have as big of a fan base. A first-person shooter needs that. I think a lot of people know that a first-person shooter needs to be 60 frames a second, at least a smooth 60 frames a second. I think a Metroid universe game would show off the next console the best way that it could, right? Outside of a racing game. So that's my opinion on that. Although I still think the next Switch is going to just be a Switch, and this console is going to be around for a long time. What about you, Ed?
Well, I don't think people will be upset for it. Zelda games, they wait long. So it's kind of a tradition in a sense, that they could wait for this game for a long time. And if they decide to bring out a new like next gen from Nintendo, this is just going to help sell more of it. I think what would happen is that there's so much on Switch now that people have missed that they will go back and get and they will play and everything. And it would just be like Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 would be the leading game for that system to sell more. Now, what's going to happen is that Breath of the Wild 2 will have to be in a 9.5 or a 10 for people to be upset. If it's like hitting 8.5s or just maybe a 9, a lot of people wouldn't be like, oh, okay, I can play that game when it comes out. When I'm able to get to the new system, and that would be fine. But if it's a 10, and it's like this first game, you guys not bring this up on the Switch. Why does this new console got the 10 game and we don't got nothing? We still got old stuff, or we only got the first game. So I don't think people will be upset, that other people expect. I think if that game had, a lot of 10s, then yeah, people may be upset, but then they'll get the new system anyway. So I already have a guaranteed game that I'm going to buy. What am I missing out on my old console?
Mm-hmm.
I got tons of Game of the Year and content will be on this. Miss nothing unless production is like for that new console. A production is like really small. Then I could see people being upset and everything. And if Nintendo just not thinking of the money, then yeah, they'll just put it on the other console. Be like, this is the reason why you need this version of our next gen console.
Yeah. I think there's other games that would service that need better though than Zelda. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I think it would suck, but also like we would also be first in line for the next console, right? Like to me, like it wouldn't matter as much to me having a dual console release or leaving the Switch behind, right? Because I would be fighting tooth and nail to get that next console, but I would feel bad for like the 120 million potential sales they would have, I mean, not that
mm-hmm.
Zelda didn't have a long tail because, Switch was so hard to find that first year or first 2 years really.
Right.
And obviously it sold 25 million units and that's nothing to like sneeze at, but like I would feel bad because I think it's also a reason why they didn't leave the Wii U behind. Is because they already kind of promised it on that console. And I think Breath of the Wild would have been better if they left the Wii U behind. So, I don't know. I'm trying to see it from both sides, and I'm kind of talking myself into both sides. But
I'm kind of going to dig at Sony and Microsoft for this one.
Here we
because the only reason I want to dig at them is because this just lets you know that if they bring out Breath of the Wild 2, let's say they do bring out Metroid Prime 4 after if Nintendo starts doing what they did with the Switch and start bringing out game after month, the upset is going to seem less likely because they're getting games after game after game for this next console. So they're feeding this new console with a good library.
Yeah,
and
no,
sorry, Microsoft and Sony.
I get that.
Okay.
I get that they need that to make the console succeed. I'm just talking about like if you're going to launch the new system with Zelda, Like, I mean, for me, like, I think Breath of the Wild would have actually been better if it left Wii U behind, you know? Because, like, you had to optimize that thing for Wii U and then port it to Switch, which was probably extremely difficult and not ideal, right? Like, you want to develop the game from the ground up for one console. And
Yes.
I think you're going to see that. I mean, you see that with a lot of Sony's games, right? Those games are developed, well, not right now actually, but you know, like you see, maybe that was a terrible example. But like you want these games to be dealt. Look at the multi-platform games that have come out in the past, right? Especially during the 360 and PS3 era, where like games that were being developed for Xbox 360 and PC ran better than the PlayStation 3 version because they're more similar in architecture, right? It's the same reason why Switch ports right now of third-party games or indie games like don't run as well, right? Because the PlayStation 4, 5, and Xbox have similar architecture and PC has a similar architecture. Like they're basically just customized PCs, right? And then you look at the Switch and it's like a mobile device. Like it's literally built on mobile device tech and you're porting down to a mobile device and these games just don't run as well. I mean, some of the games they hide it well or they optimize it or they come out later or they come out first, right? And they're optimized and whatever, but like you know, I mean, look at a game like Hob, for example. Remember when Hob Definitive Edition came out and it just did not run great on Switch for a good month and a half or 2 months, right? It's not Panic Button's fault, right? They're trying to get that code optimized, but you know, that game just wasn't optimized for Switch or games like Torchlight or what was the other big one that was like not running super well on Switch at the beginning? I don't really remember, but like there's been a lot of indie games that Mr. Shifty was the game that I was thinking of.
Yes.
Really cool game, but like it was optimized for Steam and Xbox One. It was not optimized for Switch and it ran poorly. It was a cool game and a cool concept, but like a game that you need to be agile and you know doing these cool moves and getting through this world. Like, you can't have frame rate stutters, and you can't have missed button prompts, right? Like, it just was not optimized. And so, I think having a game optimized for next gen and only next gen for Nintendo would benefit them. You know,
but I think the thing with those other games is that if you are learning the system for the first time and this is your first game, I kind of expect stuff like that.
Yeah, but
whether you're porting or making something new.
Yeah, but Nintendo's internal team should know how to work the system better than anybody else.
I'm talking about outside of Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about outside of Nintendo. Because Nintendo would delay something to make sure that they get it right.
I know. Zelda. You know, Zelda's been delayed so long.
Like but like the games that you presented and stuff is that yes, those are indies and you know they're being ported to they're being ported, but don't forget a lot of companies are making games for Nintendo for the first time and everything, so they don't know how to develop for that system. Like I kind of feel like if they were able to work on a Nintendo console before and get an idea on how Nintendo makes their stuff, I think they'll probably be like, okay, let's do an experimental game on this new system. Let's see what works, let's build this stuff. And if it's janky, if we could get a 7 for our problematic game because we're still learning it and everything, but it's still functional, then yeah, let's put it out. Let's get the feedback from the players on what was dissatisfied about this game, so that when we go forward, we could be like, okay, this was the problem. Let's go ahead and when it comes to games like that, it always depends on budget and everything. You know, time and budget is always a main factor in that stuff. Of course, Nintendo got a lot of it. But like for a lot of indie games and like people who are porting stuff, they sometimes don't have that time and budget. Sometimes they be like, "Yeah, we got to get a game done in 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and this is your budget
Mm-hmm.
for this particular game." And it's just like there's no way we're going to get it done. Sometimes porting has to be treated like it was being the same as a new game. I got on Panic Button and Bethesda because of Doom Eternal. Because it was just like, why is the Switch version getting pushed back when you between Panic Button uh and Bethesda? You kind of understand why the Switch version got pushed back. Like even Dying Light 2, that still haven't came out yet, and it was
I
supposed to
mean,
be
that
coming
Switch
out
version's
in
gonna
August.
get canceled,
Probably so, yeah.
especially because like
And this,
the first game when they re-released the first game on Switch, I guess it didn't do very well. So I wouldn't be surprised if that version just gets canceled. And that's the problem with the Switch now, though, is like you're running on tech that's like it was old when it came out. It was like like this mobile chipset was 2 or 3 years old when it came out, right? And now we're in its 6th year. This tech is almost 10 years old. Like developers don't want to be developing games for tech like this. They want to be developing tech for Xbox and
but I
PlayStation
think
5, right? Like that's.
but I think that leaves like you said. I think the thing about it is that leaves those developers puzzled. How in the heck is Nintendo? Of course, it's their console and everything. But how in the heck is Nintendo still surprising gamers with their graphics and what they're doing, and we can't be on that same level?
But
Yes, you can have
Nintendo's always been like that. They are the masters of asset
yeah,
compression, reusing assets, being smart with what assets they use in what
yeah.
areas, and like how you see assets on
and
screen.
and and that's why I said that party puzzles a lot of developers and outside of Nintendo. Just be like, how are you still doing this? Or your producers, or you're using this kind of style, and we can't get our stuff on that level and everything. I think that's why I kind of um said that, if the games keep running out month per month again, just like it did for the original Switch, that's gonna I think sometimes that's gonna be like, okay, other developers, y'all gonna have to step up your game. There's no way I can, you're gonna have to step up your game, or you're gonna have to come up with a new idea, a new concept, new art style, or whatever to have some exclusive stuff or have something on our platform that you for people to play and
Hmm.
everything. If you are a porting company, great. If you know the ins and outs of what to port for our technology, wonderful. Bring it over. But we rather you guys probably just create something new and use a different art style if you could and everything. If you want powerful hardware, that's fine. The problem with powerful hardware is that you got this power and, and you don't actually show the game off by the time it's halfway done or it's time for release or going gold. And I think a lot of players have learned because of for some games that if you're gonna have powerful hardware, by the third or fourth time that you are showing this game off, it should be no cutscenes. It should literally be what I'm going to get on the screen when I press start. And for a lot of developers, they're not providing. They're providing Flash and nothing else. And I think with Nintendo consoles, if Nintendo wants to hold off Breath of the Wild 2 for their next console, they're going to show it. But you better believe that Nintendo is going to put a lot of work into that game if they do it, to make sure that what we couldn't do on the Switch, we was able to do on this platform.
Well, I think the problem with these other games, and like you even see this in Breath of the Wild too. Is like, I mean, Breath of the Wild is extremely polished, but you see people breaking that game all the time, right? And like,
Yeah.
Nintendo as a company is the master of polish, right? Everything is going to run how they want it to run, and it's not going to come out until it's ready, right? I mean, Breath of the Wild got a couple stability patches afterwards, right? And they've kind of put out some fixes afterwards to fix certain things that people have found and exploited. But like,
excuse me.
I mean, you hear about games like Cyberpunk and Assassin's Creed Unity, and like, you know, you see all these games with broken pieces, and it's like, how does this get through QA? You know, like how does this get through? And I think it's because these games are just getting too big and too technically advanced and too technically, you know, overwhelming for developers, I think, in certain areas, right? And like, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of smart people working on these games, you know, a lot of smart engineers working on these engines. And like, this is part of the reason why I think a lot of people are moving away from proprietary engines and using things like Unreal, right? Because Epic has a whole department dedicated to fixing issues, right? And so that's like that's part of a cost that you don't have to pay for, right? Is like you can just call Epic support team and they'll find the issue for you in certain cases, right? Plus, like Unreal Engine 5 can do some pretty amazing things on. I mean, I don't know if you downloaded that Matrix tech demo or whatever.
No.
But, oh my gosh, dude, that game, I mean, that city and those cars and, like, the way the character models didn't look great, but, like, the world was just incredible. Like, that world was so incredible. Like, the inside the buildings, the streets, the way the lamps, like, reflected the light off the ground or off the windows, and the way the cars interacted when they crashed into each other, and like that demo was incredible, and that was just like a pre-release pretty much beta version of Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
So, and we know studios like the Coalition and Ninja Theory over at Xbox are kind of, they're kind of, I guess they're called, I guess you would call them like guinea pig studios for Unreal Engine 5 at this point, right? Because they're,
yes,
you know, Hellblade 2 is obviously running on Unreal Engine 5, and that game, talking about a game that looks incredible on Unreal Engine 5. Oh my gosh, that game looks incredible. And I'm assuming Gears of War 6 will run on Unreal 5, and I think Perfect Dark from the Initiative. I think the Initiative is using Unreal Engine 5, and Tomb Raider is going to use Unreal. Like, you're seeing all these big studios move over to Unreal Engine, and it's like, well, yeah, that makes total sense because these games are so technically advanced that you're going to need just like a company to harness all that support. But like with Nintendo, hold on, let me finish. And I think like Nintendo, I would say I would argue since Super Nintendo, but I'll say since GameCube, right? They haven't really been worried about third parties on their console. If they exist there, great. Mm-hmm. That's more games that they can offer on their store. That's more sales. That's more whatever you want to call it, right? But like Nintendo has always just been a platform where you play Nintendo games, right? For a majority of players, and you play Nintendo for Nintendo games. Now it's like the best place to play indies right now. You know, the fact that we have Doom and Wolfenstein and The Witcher on this platform is incredible, right? But like, you're not going to switch to play The Witcher. And I think the way that the Switch is built and its technical limitations, I would actually say almost makes it easier for Nintendo to develop games because they don't have to worry about all this advanced technology, right? They just know what they're working with. They know the limitations. They've been doing that since the NES, right? Creatively building on the limitations of the technology. I mean, you look at Super Mario Brothers and Super Mario 3, and they're running on the same hardware, right? You look at Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 6, they're running on the same hardware, you know? You look at Donkey Kong versus something like, I don't know, something like Ninja Turtles and some of these other games, like the beginning of the NES, like it's just astounding how much they got out of that console in 6 years, you know?
Yeah.
But I think the best example is Mario Brothers to Mario 3 and how much different Mario 3 looks from Mario Brothers, you know? Or like you look at
each game in a sense.
I mean, yeah, it's incredible. It's so
Well, I think go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying it's so awesome just to see like how much Nintendo can squeeze out of their consoles. You know, you look at another thing too is like you look at Mario 64, right? It's a great game, but you compare that to something like Majora's Mask, you know, or Banjo-Kazooie, you know, the second Banjo-Kazooie game, or you know, like you can't tell me, like it's just amazing that those games are running on the same console, you know, or Rogue Squadron, you know. Oh my gosh, Rogue Squadron looks awesome on N64, especially if you have the expansion pack. Like, I can't believe that's running on an N64.
I think it's because with Nintendo, you have a lot of developers who know more about games and how to make it, how to find a problem, how to find a problem and fix it, and R&D. Like I said, Nintendo doesn't focus on the flash. They know how to make a good trailer. They know how to cut a good thing. I don't
know. That Zelda trailer for Wii U before the Wii U came out was pretty awesome, and then we never got that game. So
it was true, yes, but at least
throwing that out there.
It was just like, hey,
also the entire GameCube sizzle reel at Space World. I'm going to argue your point here. Nintendo knows how to make a great trailer and not release those games. Okay, Mario 128 never came out.
But they don't focus. They don't focus on a trailer to be an actual game. I think meaning that they're using something like the game deal, and saying, "Hey, this is going to be an actual game that we're releasing." I think they were just like, we're just showing you there's the possibilities that can happen off the hardware that we have and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing with other companies, and this, like I said, this is going to be a dig to Microsoft and Sony and some of the third party. Is that great that you could do Unreal Engine 5? I've seen more Unreal Engine stuff being done in your cutscenes than the games that's actually happening. Because these games that's
the problem is we don't have any games. We don't have any games on these platforms yet. Let's be serious though. What are the biggest games on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 right now that are exclusive to those consoles? None. None. There are no exclusive games. They're all on last gen console. They're all on last gen consoles.
Except Returnal and Ratchet and Clank and Gran Turismo 7. Those are
no. Gran Turismo 7's on PlayStation 4.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, okay. Ratchet and Clank. Okay.
And
Returnal. Okay. But like, out of all these games that we're seeing, like even like the next gen versions of Horizon and God of War, I would point at Returnal and say that is the most next gen looking game, based on particle effects, based on frame rate, based on movement, based on what the SSD is able to do with building those randomly generated levels, right? Like, that's to me, Ratchet and Clank could have probably run on a PlayStation 4. Like, I saw the world melding or whatever they're doing with the portals. Those are scripted, man. Those are so scripted. And like, okay, maybe the screen freezes so the PlayStation 4 can load it in, right? But like, that game could totally run on PlayStation 4.
Was Psychonauts 2 Xbox One?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know the medium, even though that's not Microsoft, at the time when the video came out, I think was Microsoft, but I think it was also PC. So we're excluding PC, and we're just saying console only for Microsoft. Pretty much nothing. Um, I think Hellblade 2 was supposed to be it. Um, but at this point in time, there really isn't anything.
Yeah, but how long have they been working on Hellblade 2? That's the thing. It's been like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it was announced in 2019, and it's still not out, you know? It's still not out. And, like, granted, we got gameplay last year, but, like, man, that game looks incredible. But I don't think that game's coming out in 2023 either. And I wish I was wrong, but I don't think it is. And that's why I think this console generation is going to last a lot longer than people are expecting it to, is because you can't get games out. Like the new dev cycle for AAA games now is 5 years minimum. Even if it's running on the same engine, right? Look at God of War. Look at Breath of the Wild. Look at Breath of the Wild. Like that. Like they said, a lot of the ideas they had were going to be in the DLC, and then that blew up into a bigger game that they were going to have out 3 years later. And now we're 5 years later, and in the spring we'll be 6 years later, and we still won't have it. And that comes back to the theory I had on Expansion Pass, which free listeners will hear on Sunday, and it's already on Patreon. But my theory was the reason why Twilight Princess and Wind Waker are coming out now, or within the next, I would say, 6 months, is because Breath of the Wild is going to get pushed again to next holiday. Will it be on stronger hardware? Wrapping it back around to Laurent's question, I think it's launching alongside a more powerful Switch. I think they're going to Metroid Dread it. I think they're going to Metroid Dread it. I think they're going to...
I think the thing... Well, I think the thing about it is because now with... Monolith Soft being more freed up, that they're going to go in and clean it. Don't forget, this is a big world, and I think the thing about it is just that, of course, they're testing for bugs and what they could break and stuff, and ideas that they can implement and clean up and or some new stuff and add. Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be another physics game. So what in our physics that we can make sure that is good enough, that's right, that doesn't break the game?
I agree. I think they're having problems with the sky stuff. Like, my thing is like, okay, in Breath of the Wild you had one level pretty much, right? Like, I mean, obviously, like, there's, topography you got to worry about, but like essentially you had like one plane of world to travel, right? In this game, you're going to have 3 planes of travel, theoretically, right? You got the underground, you got the Sky City, and you got the world of Hyrule at the like the last game.
Yes.
And then, theoretically, you're going to have time travel, right? You're going to have time traveling in here. So now you have to accommodate for multiple versions of each level, and you got to make sure your powers, what powers, are these different character models going to interact with these powers differently. Like, there's a lot going on in this game, theoretically, right? Where, like, I'm shocked that it's going to run on the Switch. Like, I really am. Like, who knows how well it's going to run on the current version of the Switch? I don't know. But this game is why I think there's going to be a new model, right?
Well, I think with them learning now to Switch,
they shouldn't be learning 6 years in, though. That's the problem, Ed.
But I was about to say, I think that Breath of the Wild probably was their starting point of learning. Of getting, okay, this is how this works. This is how this works on this platform. Okay, great. What's the feedback? What problems did we have? What did we patch? Everybody's talking. Now, a year or two has passed. This is going to be the expansion pack. We put out the DLC. We know what we need to do. We know where we could start from. and now let's go further and take it to a new level. And I think that's what they did, because I'm like, if you're going to get Monolith Soft, if you're going to get all these people involved, and Monolith Soft is coming in, because I know Anuma has been paying attention to Monolith Soft and what they've been doing. And if Monolith Soft is like, yeah, this is how we build, and this is what we could do for the world. So Anuma and Monolith Soft had to be talking. Everybody has to be talking and fixing problems and getting things ready for that game, for Breath of the Wild 2. So I think what ended up happening is that I feel like part of the Monolith Soft team may have to leave a little bit um of the Zelda team and Splatoon, so they could work on Xenoblade 3 or whatever. And I feel like when Xenoblade 3 was finished and wrapped up and ready to go, definitely when they pushed it up, all of them went right back to the Zelda team to fix it. I think that's what probably happened when they delayed it and everything. You know, I don't. Sometimes I won't say that a new console will fix all the problems or make it run better. I think it's just like yeah, we learn it. We don't have a short amount of time to get a game out. We now can focus on this game, on this system, and build it up and be ready to make sure that when we release it, that it works properly. And if it takes time, Nintendo is going to give us the time to take it. Why? Because the sales for our first game is still running in, still coming in, funding us or funding the company and stuff.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's why I said I don't think people will be upset. They might be disappointed that is happening, but I think what people are getting is so good. And think about it, Corey. What if they did put Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on the old Switch so it could lead up to the new platform for Breath of the Wild 2?
Well, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess will be on the current Switch. They will be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Those games lead up to the new Switch.
They are. That's what we were talking
Breath
about on
2.
expansion passes. I think Wind Waker. I think Twilight Princess is going to come out this fall. I think Wind Waker is going to come out in the spring, and Breath of the Wild 2 is going to come out next holiday alongside a new Switch. That's what I'm saying. That was my theory.
I feel like what I definitely feel like it's probably gonna be in the fall, because that's where some of the Zelda games like main ones come out. But I think it'd be like once PlayStation and Microsoft get their stuff out, we could start rolling our games. Because right now, Nintendo's in a position that we could roll some of the stuff that we promised, but we could also roll out small games before we hit them with the major stuff. Because we're still waiting on the next Mario game. We still waiting on the Star Fox game, whether people like it or not. That can happen. We're still waiting on the Donkey Kong game. Knowing Nintendo and Microsoft, someone's probably talking, and they seen the sales of Banjo-Kazooie. So that could be, as crazy as it seems, there could be a Microsoft release of Banjo-Kazooie on Switch.
So yeah, I don't think it's that crazy. I think Banjo-Kazooie, Conker, anything from Rare, really. I could almost see Everwild coming out on Switch, depending on what that game even is at this point.
Right.
Might just be an image.
there's a lot of stuff that could be happening and everything. But if Breath of the Wild 2 want to come on to on Nintendo's next gen or next platform, let it come. And no, who's going to be upset? Who's going to be mad?
I mean, a lot of people are going to be mad, but also, I think, like I said at the beginning, I think that the reason why Breath of the Wild moving to Switch didn't make people mad is because I just think Wii U is just an awful console in a lot of people's eyes, and they were ready to be excited about Nintendo again, whereas the Switch has people excited about Nintendo, and it's still selling, and for them to cut off a user base as big as the Switch is for a game as major as Zelda, I think would be not smart of them. But also like if they did cut off the user base, I think the game would be better. You know.
But think about if they're gonna. That's why I feel like they can cut off the user base if they have enough supply of their next console.
Yeah. No,
I think that's why Sony and Microsoft can't really do that, because you don't have enough consoles out, so you can't cut people off.
Yeah.
If you cut people off, then
they would have to make the console ready to buy. Like, they would have to have 2 million consoles ready to buy at launch.
Yeah.
You know, and at least like where you could walk in a store and get it. You know, if you were like, not that like I mean I don't think the console is. I mean, I think the console is going to sell out either way, right? Like, whatever this new thing is, but like you can't have like 750,000 units pre-order only and then scalpers buy 2/3 of them, right? Like, you have to have them ready to go in a store. You know, do the Wii thing where people would stand in line and you give them tickets, and if you don't get one, you don't get one. That's.
I think, and I think that's what Nintendo wants to do,
and that's what they need.
If they
to do,
have learned,
look how long it took Xbox Ones or Xbox Series and PlayStation 5s to become available, like regularly, semi-regularly, right? Like, Nintendo wants to avoid that situation at all costs, and I actually think that's why their next console, although more powerful than the current Switch, is still going to be underpowered, is because they can get those parts cheaper, right? They don't have to battle Microsoft and Sony for those parts. They'll be battling Apple, but Apple, and I guess like Samsung and whoever's making Android phones right now, but like they're going to be battling for those parts, but at the same time Nvidia's making custom chips for them. So like,
that's what I was about to say. It's just like it's going to be that custom chip and everything.
So I mean, my thing is Nintendo has to have a bunch of these consoles ready to go, and they're going to have like 2 million units ready to go out the gate if they were going to do this with a new Zelda game, with like 2 or 3 million more in production for the rest of the year. They're just going to have to. Especially with the promise of like a Metroid Prime and a new Donkey Kong and Mario on the way, like, Also, it's got to be backwards compatible.
I think with Nintendo seeing how they did Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Special Edition, that's to teach them that, okay, we can't do that pre-order stuff, because yes, our website was broken and all of that crazy mess. But
people are still trying to buy N64 controllers. Don't ignore Xenoblade Chronicles Special Edition. People are still trying to buy 64 controllers to play on their Switch.
Yeah, I know that.
No, it's just ridiculous.
The way.
It's just ridiculous. I'm agreeing with you, but I mean, like, forget about special edition consoles. These stupid controllers that are 30 years old at this point are selling out because people want them. That's what I'm saying. And it's ridiculous. I bought 2, and I was lucky to get 2, and they've been back in stock once since, I think. It's like, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
But everybody, that's going to be it for the show. Corey, where can we find you?
You can find me at I am Corey HG on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on the Boss Rush podcast and various other things here. Also follow us on Twitter at Powblock Podcast. All that, that stuff.
Yes, and you guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode and on Instagram at that same name. You can find on Discord, find more of our content at bossrush.net and on our YouTube channel, Boss Rush Network. With that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we will see you next time on the Nintendo Power Block. Bye, everybody. Woo-hoo.
Bye.